What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerd Lounge 2.0. My name is Austin. This is my beautiful, amazing, awesome, perfect wife, Ray. We are your friendly neighborhood movie review watch couple, movies and shows. And this week, we watched Final Destination Bloodlines, as well as all of the Final Destination movies. So we're going to go ahead and talk about all of that stuff today. It's going to be super cool and awesome. Did you watch anything else interesting this week?
Oh, crap. I totally forgot what I watched.
What did you watch?
I watched... Oh,
did
God. I did.
Did you watch something new?
I did. I watched Queen Bees on Netflix with the old lady.
The one with the...
home.
Oh, yeah.
I watched that. And then also, what else did I watch? I watched something else.
I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
We should start writing this stuff down.
I probably should have wrote it down, yeah. I watched something else. Oh, man. I don't know. But yeah, Queen Bees on Netflix. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Is it a Netflix film or is it just on Netflix?
It's a Netflix film, I think.
Okay.
Oh, we watched the one with Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx.
What was it called? Back at It Again or something?
Back in Action or something.
Oh, yeah. Back in Action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they're like CIA operatives go off the grid and they get like caught up in the middle of something. Or like they fake their deaths or something.
Yeah, so they can be together.
So they can like actually, so they can get out of like the service.
They get found from a video because they like went to get their daughter from a club and then they beat up the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they're like on their own.
And then like their old boss finds them and is he on their side or not? I don't know. You should go check it out. I thought it was actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a movie called Nona's with Vince Vaughn, which I would recommend. I thought it was actually really good. It's based on a true story about a guy who actually like created a restaurant and hired Italian grandmas and all sorts of different grandmas, I guess. And then it still exists. It was like a little blurb at the end.
I told you about the movie.
I know, but you don't know all of the information because I'm the one that watched it. But highly recommend. It was good to see Vince Vaughn in another kind of dramatic role where he's not just being a goofy guy. But I actually enjoyed it. Also, everyone is telling us that we don't know comic books enough. We shouldn't have comic book opinions if we don't know the source material. So I'm going out and I'm buying a bunch of comic books. You know, they're not in any kind of order. I'm finding them where I can get them. And I'm picking them up and I'm reading them. So the one that I read this week was X Factor issue 25, Messiah Complex, chapter 3. This is actually really cool. It's about Multiple Man. Multiple Man's apparently in a pretty big X-Men. And he goes into like alternate dimensions. Forge creates this like portal thing. He's in alternate dimensions to find some kind of like cure for something. I don't know. I honestly kind of already forgot what it's about, but I'm trying to read a bunch of comic books, man. So I'm trying to learn these characters so you guys, you know, don't stop shitting on me on the internet about not knowing comic books. So
he'll just tell me what they're about.
And then I'll just give Ray updates and then she can have her opinion on them as well. So, but also you can go to this cool website. It's readallcomics.com. You can literally type in the comic book series or the comic book like title or anything like that. And it gives you like all of the comic books. You can just read them online. So what I'm doing is I'm buying them so I have a cool, awesome copy, but then I'm just, you know, reading some of them online or I'm reading the entire series if I don't have the whole series. So let us know what comic books to read or which characters you guys love and things like that. So, all right. Any other cool announcements?
I don't think so.
I think that's it. I think that's all I would want to get out there on the interwebs.
Okay.
Okay. For this week's Nerd Breaker, my wife has prepared a Nerd Breaker, so I'm really excited to hear what it is. I don't know what it is yet.
You do know what it is. He's lying, guys.
No, it's part of the mystery.
He's a phony. No, we're going to do a Final Destination Mad Libs. But this time, Austin is going to do it. And shout out to ChatGPT because it helped me with this because I didn't have time to write one of my own. So it's going to be even better. And it is called Final Destination Mad Libs of Doom. Okay. So I need an adjective.
Adjective. Slimy.
Okay. I need a person's name.
Reginald.
Okay, I need a mode of transportation.
Hang glider.
What the?
I'm trying to. First thing I can think of.
I need a place. Hold on, let me get this cursor. Okay, I need a place.
Subway station.
I need an emotion.
Hatred.
I need a verb ending in ing.
ING verb.
Mm-hmm.
Punching.
I need a noun.
Sponge.
Sponge. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I need exclamation, like something with exclamation.
Ouchie. I don't know.
I need a number.
42.
Okay. I need
Wait.
I need an occupation. Uh-oh.
College professor.
Okay, I need an object.
A battering ram.
Okay.
You know what a battering ram is?
Yes. This is... Okay. I need an adjective.
Just let him come back.
He's right there.
Okay.
I need an adjective.
Sorry, say it one more time.
I need an adjective.
Another adjective. Scratchy.
Okay, I need a plural noun.
Plural noun. Nails.
Okay, it's almost done.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
I need a name of a friend.
Dan.
I need a liquid.
Gasoline.
I need a household object.
A broom.
I need another verb ending in ing.
Crying.
I need a celebrity name.
Celebrity name. Denzel Washington. What?
Okay, put dental. What the heck? Okay. I need another adjective.
Another adjective. Hairy.
I need an animal.
An animal. A buffalo. What?
I need a machine.
A machine? A machine. A fax machine.
Okay. I need another name.
Bobby.
Okay. I need a creepy phrase.
Creepy phrase. You want to play a game? It's kind of creepy. This is very involved. I don't think it was going to be this long.
Yeah, and I need another noun.
Another noun. A shoebox.
Perfect. Okay, this is a pretty long read.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. It was a slimy day when Reginald and their friends boarded the hang glider for a trip to Subway Station. This is also, just to let everyone know, this is written by AI, so if the words are off, they're going to be a little off. Everyone was hatred except for Reginald, who had a terrifying vision of the vehicle punching in a fiery sponge. With eyes wide, they screamed, "Ouchie! We have to get off." The group reluctantly followed, leaving behind 42 passengers, including a college professor and someone holding a battering ram. Moments later, just as predicted, the hang glider met its scratchy end in a twisted pile of nails. At first, everyone thought they were safe, but then one by one, fate came for them. The first to go was Dan,
Oh gosh.
who slipped on a pool of gasoline and was impaled by a falling broomstick.
That's pretty brutal.
The others tried to cheat death by crying, but it was no use. Even Denzel Washington, who made a cameo, couldn't survive the hairy series of events involving a buffalo and a malfunctioning fax machine. In the end, only Bobby remained, whispering, "You want to play a game?" just as a shoebox came crashing down. The end.
Impaled by a shoebox. There you go. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Great job. Great job.
Great job.
All right. Before we go into the Rotten Tomato scores for Final Destination Bloodlines, I want to give our scores.
Okay.
Because when I was looking it up, I was actually very surprised. I probably should have wrote my score down before
Yeah, I didn't.
I watched it or I saw it. But I know what my score is. Let's go into our scores out of 10.
For Bloodlines?
Yeah, just for Bloodlines.
Okay. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Set. Go.
8.7. Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it a lot.
It was low key kind of predictable, but
It was pretty predictable, but it followed the formula of Final Destination. It was like very
yeah.
much like, built into the franchise, Awesome. So the the Rotten Tomato scores are the tomatometer with 180 reviews is 92%, and the popcorn meter with 5,000 verified ratings is 88%. So both of these ratings are like hot, verified, fresh. People like these movies, and I actually enjoyed it too.
Yeah. I like Final Destination movies. I as much as I do like them, I feel the plot of the story, it does start to get a bit tiring. It's like we know what it consists of. They did try to switch it up a little bit in this one by having it be like someone else's dream and not their premonition, but it's still along that storyline, so I would like to see if they can formulate it in a better way if they were to come out with more. But it gets pretty predictable that like, okay, there's this many people and death is coming for them, and and I mean, yeah, I guess in this one they tried because it's going to like bloodlines and not like actually people who are in the event.
Yeah, I thought it was actually cool that I liked the little twists on it. So this is going to be a spoiler review of Final Destination Bloodlines, but I did like that it was like the kind of granddaughter that like saw the vision, and then there was like a few twists of like she was kind of like keeping death at bay, and then like her family like grew up, and then we thought like the one kid was gonna die, but he's like ended up being adopted, and then they kind of like skipped him and ended up not skipping him completely, because I did like the little talk they had where he was like, if you try to cheat death, things get dicey, and the one guy who wasn't even on death's list essentially trying to cheat death met his fate, things like that. So but yeah, it was it definitely kept the brutal deaths.
Yeah the deaths were pretty awful
in this one.
They were well, obviously because now like it's 2025, so the visuals of it are gonna look way worse than the first couple destinations that came out. But also, I don't know. There are some things that peeved me. If you want to go into it completely right now, we can, or we can wait.
In this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This first part is just talking about this movie. So
okay.
Yeah, just go into it.
It just peeved me. It's like the grandma. What was her name? Lilia.
Oh, I had the cast. I think it was Darlene.
The grandma's name wasn't Darlene. It started with an L. Iris. Started with an I. Sorry.
Iris
is like in this cabin by herself with all this stuff around her that could have taken her out at any minute. And she's like, yeah, death is always around me. And then she like throws a cup or something. She's like, yeah, I see you, sneaky son of a bitch. But it's like, in any other movie of Final Destination, that like would not have happened. Something would have offed her in the house. Just because you see it you're stopping it.
Yeah, but the thing, she said that death was gonna get her anyway because she got cancer.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like she was already
true.
in death's clutches.
But then also it's like the thing that also like kind of spins my mind is that when she's getting ready to step out of the house to chase after, was it Stephanie?
Stephanie Reyes.
She sees the vision of her death like as if it's written down in the book.
The grandma does?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then she steps out anyway, and then she says, "Here, just take the book." And then she was like, seeing is believing, because she knew like that has that. And she looked around. She knew like that's how she was gonna die, was from the wind thingy,
like knocking over like that fire extinguisher and like blasting that rod through her jaw.
Which was crazy.
Pretty graphic.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. So like I thought that was cool. Austin liked the trash compactor scene. He watched it twice, and
it was brutal, man. Because I
are weird.
Yes, true, but it was. I thought I liked it because they're trying to cheat death, so they're trying to stop the truck, and what's stopping the truck is kind of what made it harder for her to get out.
Yeah.
Like, if they didn't stop it and, like, everything was just going, she probably would have been able to pull her out.
And if you notice, like, in these Final Destination movies, it's always, something always happens when someone else is, like, coming to, like, intervene.
Okay.
Like, which was, like, in Final Destination 2, when they went to the dentist's office to go try to save the mom and the son.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like yelling, and they're like, "Oh, stop, boy, stop!" And then he's like, "Oh, hey!" And then he's like, "Oh, like pigeons!" And he starts running, like what?
And the pigeons is what led to his death.
Yeah,
true.
So
it's almost like if you don't do anything.
Yeah, and then it's like even in Final Destination, what was it, 3 or 4?
Which one?
No, I think which one is the bridge?
That's 5.
5. When they go to the girl with the LASIK eye surgery and the thing is scratching out, the doctors come in and then they come barging in and she's like, "I don't want to die." And she's like talking to the friends and she slips.
Oh, and like falls out the window or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, just stay where you're at. Just don't even come by me, because you guys are causing half of these deaths. Like,
I mean, that's kind of true. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I did like the. It's probably the only way to create like a new type of story with Final Destination versus making it like overly formulaic. It was still formulaic and slightly repetitive and a little bit predictable, but making it like go across generations, I thought was kind of smart.
I mean, I guess.
You gave it a decent ranking.
I did give it a decent ranking. But
there's always going to be nitpicks, though.
But I also, when we were watching the movie, I was like, "Oh, this is going to happen because of this. And this is going to happen because of that." And I called it out.
I forgot which one you called out the best. Was it the trash one?
No, I called out that the only reason why it hadn't killed the people in the family is because Iris is still alive. So now that Iris is dead, now it can go through the bloodline.
The rest of her line?
Yeah. Which is also, this is also really fucking dumb, is that at the end, the house, like, catches on fire. Why didn't it just catch on fire when Iris was in the house?
Because they're trying to intervene. You always said that the intervening is what makes things escalate. They
were trying to get the mom in the house, though, and the house caught on fire, so she couldn't get in the house. In the cabin.
Right.
So if the house could have caught on fire by itself this whole entire time.
But it didn't, because they were trying to cheat death.
But
that's why.
But technically, this whole time, Iris has been cheating death.
Yeah, but she she was able to see the signs and like safety proof the house enough.
Safety proof, okay, but you have every single spike, every single thing outside of the house.
Yeah, outside. She never left.
Inside.
So things couldn't get to you.
So what was she eating?
That's a good point.
What was she eating?
Canned
was she door dashing?
Maybe to a freaking isolated cabin.
How did she find out she had cancer? If you can't leave your house to go to a doctor, unless she was in there like remedying on
Well, if
herself.
you're like coughing up blood and like getting all the signs.
You can, that does not necessarily mean you have cancer because you're coughing up blood. That could be a multitude of things, not cancer.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
All right.
Whatever.
Yeah. So would you say spend money on it?
I would say spend money on it. Seeing it in the theaters is super sick because it's on a huge screen and the graphics are really well.
Yeah. It's a fun collective experience with these kind of movies.
Yeah. I agree.
I would say so. I would say go watch it if you like the Final Destination movies, and it's a popcorn movie. Mm-hmm. It's a fun theater experience. So I would recommend it. I would say go ahead and.
If you can deal with gore, then you'll be fine because it's a little graphic.
Yeah, the trash compactor one and the garbage truck is pretty brutal. So. A lot of brutality in these movies.
I've also noticed in every Final Destination movie, there's like a piece of medical equipment that
there's always been like some kind of
or some type of like there was the tanning booth that malfunctioned. There was the pool,
the LASIK eye machine
malfunctioned. There was LASIK eye machine that malfunctioned. There was the dentist that malfunctioned. There was the MRI machine that malfunctioned.
There was the in Final Destination 3, there was like that forklift that like got running on his own.
Yeah.
So there's always some kind of heavy machinery or something.
Yeah. It makes you scared to go absolutely anywhere. To
go see any kind of machinery? Yeah, I know. I went to the dentist recently. I'm like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spoil the end. So they said they're going to try to cheat death by pretty much killing someone and then bringing him back. So there was like the two brothers. One of them had a peanut allergy. He was going to give him a peanut or like a Reese's peanut butter cup or something like that. And then he ended up getting like the MRI machine started like malfunctioning and like the magnetism of it got super like high, and then he died, and then the brother got the EpiPen. So they're trying to cheat death and all this stuff, and then in the very end, the sister Stephanie drowns. Mm-hmm. Brother brings her back, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he brought her back from the dead." Mm-hmm. And this doctor is like, "Yeah, not really."
Yeah, he was like, if she's unconscious, you just woke her up. Technically, her heart didn't stop. So, go.
Oh no, I was gonna say I like that these movies aren't afraid to just kill everybody. I mean, I'm serious. I'm like, like there's like a few like sole survivors, but then they ended up like clear. In the first one, was in the second one. She ended up still dying. In the end of this one, like that huge train goes off the rails because like the penny, like all these years, the penny.
Yeah, this penny is like a reoccurring issue in this movie. This one penny. And where'd the dad go?
The dad of the two kids?
Yeah.
He was there at the end. At
the end, but he's gone from the point of where the mom is talking to them in the kitchen like, what if they're right? Da, 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 da. And he's like, I don't want to talk about this with you anymore. And he like walks off.
Well, because he's not technically part of the bloodline.
No, but if you're the dad and like these are your children and this is like your wife still, even though she abandoned them, where were you to intervene through all of this?
I mean, if he intervened, if I would end up dying.
But so, if my kid is telling me I'm going to go to this cabin with my mom that my crazy grandma was in and death is after me, you think I'm going to, and then something happens to my child, like I'm going to be okay with that because I decided to stay at home?
I mean, sure, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. He kind of disappeared.
And then he pops back up again. Oh, hi, yeah, this is my son. This is taking his daughter to prom and his dad's a doctor and...
Right.
Where the hell have you been?
Yeah, true.
Like...
I know, like, and like the mom died and everything was like fine. Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely ironic. She's like, I'm trying to stay alive as long as I can. Smashed by like a light pole or electric pole or something like that. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, and the opening scene of this movie was really great. It started off slow.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It was like a slow build,
but it was cool to be like it was cool how they laid it out from the beginning up until like the point of Stephanie being in class, like having these like reoccurring dreams and nightmares and national academic probation. So she has to go back home, figure out what this is all about. Yeah, I don't know. It was a good like flow of events, I guess I will say.
Yeah. But
some parts seemed a little rush.
Yeah, maybe. I don't disagree with that. It seemed like as soon as kind of like you figured everything out, like the deaths and stuff, that they came pretty quick. As soon as things started going off the rails, it kept up. So I would,
First death is the dad gets run. Oh, first death is Iris, impaled through the mouth. Mm-hmm. Second death is Howard, which we call Austin sometimes. So we thought that was funny. Howard gets his face run over by a lawnmower. And then there is the daughter. I don't know her name.
I forget her name.
But she was rude anyways. She was not very nice.
She was kind of a jerk.
She was a jerk. Was her name Darlene?
Julia, maybe? Yeah.
Okay, Julia smashed by the trash compactor. And then you have...
Eric and Bobby.
Eric was sucked into the MRI machine because he had jewelry, sort of metal on his piercings throughout, and they started ripping out, and then the wheelchair pushed him into the MRI machine, and then it started folding, and his body was folding with the machine, and then the metal parts started impelling him,
and it was getting pulled through the machine, him.
So he basically got cracked in half backwards. And then the brother, what was his name?
Bobby
got the EpiPen, and then the nurse hears that the MRI machine is going off because everything starts being magnetized to it. And the vending machine that they were trying to get the Reese's cups for the peanut allergy, they couldn't get. And she opens the door, and the spiral from said vending machine impels him through the head into the MRI machine.
Yeah, so like if you think about it, like if the nurse didn't open the door, he probably would have survived.
Yeah,
another intervention.
And then what was it? The mom.
And then the next was the mom.
Mom, she was like smashed by something. Couldn't really tell what it was.
I think it was an electrical pole.
She was smashed, and then that just leaves the son. That leaves Stephanie and Charlie, and they don't show that they die at the end.
It do show.
Oh.
They get smashed by those giant logs.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Like the train crashes and then...
Oh, yeah.
And they just get like freaking smashed. It was freaking nuts. Yeah.
So, really cool.
Yeah, definitely graphic. You're not afraid to... They're not afraid, man.
If Stephanie never would have went to see Iris about that one dream... none of this would have happened.
They would have just waited for the mom to die of cancer, I guess. Yeah. Or the grandma, or Iris, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, from the very beginning, she was trying to already, I guess, find out or cheat death. I guess she was just trying to find out what it was. Like, what the dreams meant.
But that could have been Death's plan.
Yeah. Giving her the visions.
Giving her the dreams to be like, she's going to go figure this out. And then I can get Iris the hell up out of here.
Right.
And I can take all the rest of you out.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they were never supposed to exist. That's what I was telling you.
Yeah.
They were never supposed to exist in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then like all of the people that were saved in the initial vision by Iris all had like families. So there's like now this crazy like ripple effect of like everybody having families and like passing generations, and then now all of those people are at risk and stuff. Crazy, man.
And they did bring back the caretaker, or what is his name?
His name was Bloodworth.
I just know him as Candyman.
William John Bloodworth.
Well, so they brought him back, which was awesome. But he states that he is also dying from cancer, and he tells him that you can't cheat death, you know. So yeah, good movie.
Yeah, I liked it. That was definitely a good entry in
back
this
into the Final Destination
franchise.
Realm.
Yeah, the last question I had was, does it fit into the franchise? And I think, yeah.
I think it fits into the franchise. I guess now you just have to figure out where do you go from here.
Probably the only way to go is to just keep making really ridiculously creative death scenarios.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've had a plane. We've had a roller coaster. We've had a bridge. We've had...
a freeway crash.
Technically 2. A train. As well at the end of the other Final Destination.
At the end of Final Destination 3. Yeah.
We've had what?
At the end of Final Destination 3, it was like
no,
a subway.
Would you say a crash?
The freeway crash?
Oh, yeah. We've had a freeway crash. So I guess you would have to think of...
And then 4 was the racetrack.
Yeah, you just have to think of, I don't know, baseball game, soccer game.
Another crazy type of...
thing where there's hundreds
disaster
of people out.
Scenario.
A concert. Concert could be good.
A concert. You can make a lot of crazy stuff go wrong at a concert.
Yeah, a job. Like a corporate office where there's many floors and hundreds of people.
There you go.
Yeah. A grocery store. Preferably Costco. There's always people in Costco.
There is always people. There's a lot of things that could go wrong at a Costco.
Yeah.
Too.
So, I guess we'll have to see if they continue... if they continue to keep going.
I think they will because of how well this did. It said in... I was looking it up that it had the best box office opening of all the entire franchise with like 50 something million, I think, on opening weekend, and then like 17 million just on Friday.
Well, yeah, because you have like these movies are from like when we were younger. Like
I think the first one is like from like the 90s, I think.
So of course,
or the 2000s.
Millennials gonna be like, oh hell yeah, another Final Destination movie. Of course, I'm gonna go see that. Just like they're coming out with another I Know What You Did Last Summer. So
and they're bringing back the legacy cast too.
Yeah, so we will definitely probably watch that as well, and maybe we could do like a whole millennial episode because they have like the new. Well, we already talked about the new Screams, and now we're talking about the Final Destinations, but we can link them all into one video.
One major video,
and we'll talk about Scream and Final Destination, Know What You Did Last Summer,
old school slashers and stuff.
Yeah, as long as they keep making new ones,
legacy sequels.
Yeah.
Next up on the agenda is we're going to rank the entire Final Destination franchise, including Final Destination Bloodlines. And we're going to talk about each one just a little bit, brief, like, kind of recap, things we liked, things we didn't like, if there's any memorable characters or anything like that. Maybe our favorite death from the film or things like that. So, yeah, we can go right into it. So this one's only 6. So one of our shorter lists we've done so far on the channel, so that's good.
Yeah.
Number 6.
1, 2, 3. The
Final Destination 4. Yeah, the Final Destination.
The Final Destination.
Yeah.
That one is so bad.
Nice.
That one's so bad.
Nice. Yeah, I thought it was pretty lame. I thought it was actually pretty lame, that one.
I think we were watching it the other night, and he was like, wow, they really amped up the graphics on this one.
You know why? Because I think it was in 3D.
Oh.
I think it was in 3D, so that's why some of like the sequences, they look like the way that the camera work is, and it's like how it's like zoomed and like things like that. I think it's because it was in 3D, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Or it was like designed for 3D, and then they didn't translate it back to like the regular format, I guess. But that's why some of the stuff looks kind of, just a little wonky, I guess. But yeah, I thought the whole setup, the racetrack thing, I thought could happen. It's not unrealistic, but yeah, I think it's, of the 6, I think it's objectively the weakest one.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. I guess the only parts like I would say that I liked about it, which if I'm gonna say the deaths that I like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm like this dark, morbid person. But according to like the film, okay, was obviously the one in the pool.
Dude, yeah.
That and I looked it up according to like people online, like that is ranked the number 1
brutal
death.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Getting your guts sucked down by a giant friggin' vacuum.
Yeah. What was yours for that one?
In that, definitely. Like for like most brutal, like worst way to go. Yeah, definitely like the pool, getting sucked out of the pool. It's brutal, man. Because first of all, you're like partially drowning, which is terrifying, and second of all, you're like, you literally get your insides like pulled out of you, which
Yeah.
is nuts. So
I don't know. I feel like this one was like a little bit slower paced. It's to the point where like I don't remember that much about it.
yeah.
I hardly remember any of the deaths that happened. I know that the gymnastics girl, she like.
That was 5.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
He's lying. Hold on.
No, I'm not.
Don't look at my list.
I'm not.
Do you have somewhere else better to be?
No.
No, we have homework though.
Yeah, I just got some homework to do. It's all good. It won't take that long.
And then too, like it's like when you look these up, it doesn't even give you it just gives them to you ranked.
Because 5 was like the gymnastics girl died, and then
Oh,
the
you're
friend
right.
was like trying
You're
to
right.
like
The gymnastic one is the bridge.
the bridge collapse one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. See, I don't even remember the deaths then. Besides the pool.
In the 4th one, the guy got dragged by his truck and lit on fire.
that one was dumb.
The guy that was the security guard got like he was like trying to kill
He got
himself,
hit.
and there was like one more guy that survived. That got like crushed by like that pool, like that tub thing in like the hospital. And then like the 3 of them at the end just got like hit by a truck or whatever, like the coffee shop and stuff like that.
See, yeah, those are all pretty lame.
That's pretty much it. Yeah,
They're pretty lame.
pretty unmemorable that one.
Pretty, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 5.
3, 2, 1.
Final Destination
5.
3. I had the 3rd one. The roller coaster crash one was the one I put.
Whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
Whatever. Why? Explain yourself.
Explain myself because I thought it actually had some of the better death sequences, but I don't know. Some of the acting I thought was like a little bit like Mary Elizabeth Winstead, the main character. I thought she was like good, but I did like this one because each movie has found like a new way to kind of like show the signs and things like that, and like the pictures from like the camera and stuff. I thought was pretty creative, but just compared to all the other ones, just less memorable. I'm kind of ranking them like it comes to just such like a small margin of why I chose it, you know. So it just got a little bit inched out by the other ones. The worst way to go out for my pick for Final Destination 3 is the nail gun. Yeah. Because she is still alive after all of those are impaled through her, and that was brutal, man.
Yeah. Okay. I chose Final Destination 5, basically for the same reasons, like not very memorable. The deaths were okay. Like the one with the guy, the acupuncture guy, I thought that was gross.
Getting smashed by that giant Buddha statue.
Well, yeah, 'cause he thought he was good, and then he wasn't. I did think like towards the ending, it was like a little bit dumb because like they're in the restaurant on the date, and the guy walks in of the girlfriend who died.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I don't think it's fair. He's like, I was trying to take anyone's life. Yada yada yada. He's like, but then I seen you guys, and he like shoots the cop. Anyways, he ends up dying. I thought that whole scene was like.
Oh, because she was the one that survived in the vision.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Oh, did you kill him? Oh, you got his life." And then they ended up being on the plane of the first movie. So yeah.
Yeah.
I knew what I was talking about.
My bad.
I hate it here, guys.
You did.
Blink twice if you're being held against your will.
Yeah, some decent brutal deaths in that one too, though. Like that guy getting like the wrench through his face.
Yeah, because he was like, "What's all going on down here?" And then and then he's done, and then he's dead.
Yeah. Do you want to do the worst way to go out in this one?
The worst way to go out for this one, I would have to say, I would probably say on the plane at the end.
I was gonna say the gymnastics.
Yeah.
Getting your entire body crunched when it showed her after the like dust cleared.
Oh, well, yeah.
Brutal, man.
But like,
I mean, it's quick, but
it is quick. But like on the plane, I feel like at the end of this one, that like I said, loops around to the first Final Destination, is that seeing everything that's happening,
seeing it coming.
And there's nowhere for you to go.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way for you to stop this. Like, if it's quick, like, you don't know this is going to happen, but seeing, like, the plane being ripped and the wings falling, and then your girlfriend flying out and her body
gets,
getting
like,
cut
ripped
in half.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like that would be the worst way to go for me.
It's pretty brutal. That's true. Seeing things coming and then not being able to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
All right. Moving along.
All right.
Number 4.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Set. Go.
Final Destination 5. Oh, you put the first one.
I did put the first one.
Okay. So I put 5. I put the bridge collapse one. I thought it barely inched out the third one, but still, like, I like some of the ideas in this one where you can, like, take people's lives or take people's years and stuff like that. And, like, the one guy pushed, like, the other guy from the factory off of, like, the little, like, catwalk, and he, like, gets impaled on that hook, but it turns out that he was gonna, like, die in a week anyway because he had, like, some kind of blood clot or something. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. And then he gets killed by a falling plane part. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was, like, a pretty full circle event, you know?
Yeah.
So definitely a decent entry in the franchise. You put the first one for your 4th spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a classic. It's the original, and usually I always rank the originals higher. But after watching the other ones, it's a bit lackluster.
A bit dated.
Yeah. It's a bit lackluster. I mean, the only death to me that, like, I can even sadly remember in this one is what's his name that gets taken out by the piece of metal flying.
Sean William Scott.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not gonna die. You're gonna die, and I don't want to be nowhere near you. And then turns around and just, and it doesn't even take, like, his full head off. It, like, cuts him, like, through the jaw.
It cuts him, like, at, like, his mouth, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah. What about for yours?
When I was I saw this movie when I was a kid, and the one that scared me the most was the lady who, like, with all the stuff going wrong in the house fire.
For your ranking. For your movie.
My bad. Oh, what did I put? For number 4? I put the 5th one. I already talked about it.
What was the worst death?
Oh, yeah, the gymnastics lady.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Getting all smashed up, crunched up. Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying about the house fire, yeah. That one was pretty bad, too. And he just happened to be there. Or the one in the shower. That one's bad, too.
That was pretty brutal. Because it's such a slow death. Brutal. It's all the slow deaths.
Yeah. But then, too, it's like, and then the liquid goes away back into the toilet.
That part was weird. I thought that part was weird.
I think they stopped going with stuff like that.
Like,
by, like, the
supernatural
second movie.
stuff? Yeah.
They were like, we should just let this be what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
I was like, wait. It was like such a one-off. Like, nothing else was like that supernatural in the rest of, like, even that movie or, like, the rest of the whole franchise.
Yeah.
I
think after that they were like, maybe we shouldn't go this route.
Like, it was already supernatural enough when people would hear, like, whispers in the wind and, like, things like that. But, like, having it clearly, like, sink back into the, like, leaky toilet, I was like, okay, come on now. You know?
Yeah.
All right. Number 3.
Okay. Ready, set, go.
Final Destination 1. Final Destination 2.
Yeah. Final Destination 2.
I put Final Destination 1. Okay. I think when I saw it when I was a kid, I thought the scariest, like, most brutal death was the teacher who just, like, kept having things go wrong. Like, she put something hot in the cup and then something cold in the cup, and it split, and then it, like, the computer, like, jabbed her in the neck, and then she, like, fell down, like, tripped on her blood, caught on fire, tried to pull the towel, freaking knife, chair, freaking stabbed the knife more. Yes, I thought it was pretty brutal. But yeah, this movie is the first one that started off, but compared to the other ones, I think I like it because it was, like, the first of its kind, and it was, like, trying to do what it could do in the time that it came out. I commend it for that.
Also, if you are ever impaled in the neck by something sharp, do not pull it out. Sadly, even if it hurts, you panic, leave it there. Because once you pull it, you can sever an artery and completely kill yourself.
Yeah.
So, that was a little fun fact.
That is true. That is true. Try to immobilize it.
Yeah. I picked Final Destination 2.
Okay.
I liked the deaths in this.
That was the freeway crash. Yeah, this one probably had. Yeah, I won't talk about it yet because it's still on my list.
But yeah, the deaths in this one were like I think the thing that makes me panic the most is the airbag scene.
Because it's like people trying to save you.
The airbag scene, and then
that's the thing that could happen. Like they can actually shoot the airbags like that.
And then boy getting impaled by the flying whatever it was.
The barbed wire fence.
It just getting cut in half.
It got cut into like 3 sections.
Yeah, and then Claire dies in this one because she's trying to make sure Eugene is okay. And she literally says herself, death is trying to tie up loose ends. I don't know. The deaths in this one were guy with the ladder in the eyeball. Am I missing any?
The lady in the elevator.
Lady in the elevator. Head gets completely just taken off. The only things that I didn't like about this one is like the whole like little vision thing. Because my thing is like if Death is trying to get you, then why is Death giving you visions in order for you to try to stop him? Unless it's something else giving you the visions,
right?
You know, so it's just kind of if I feel like this too, it puts into your mind like if Death can't be stopped, then why give you the formula to stop him? Do you get what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have really bad dreams the next couple of days. I hate talking about death, but
probably some brutal dreams coming up. Yeah.
The only thing that's brutal is your farts last night.
Hey, you know what? You don't gotta tell 6 people on the internet about my farts, okay? All right.
This fool woke me up to stench.
Number 2.
1, 2, 3.
Final Destination Bloodlines. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, on 3. Most brutal way to go out. 1, 2, 3. MRI machine. Is that what you're gonna say?
No.
Are you gonna say the garbage truck?
No.
That's pretty brutal.
The brutal way to go out. In that one, I'd have to say Iris.
Just getting impaled through the jaw.
Either Iris or Howard.
Howard's was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
you probably don't die immediately from that.
I know.
It probably like slices you up before you actually die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were the deaths in this one. They were all bad.
Yeah, they were all.
I would say
there's not like one that I would like choose that would like I'd rather go out like that.
All bad. They were all bad.
Yeah, they were all pretty bad.
There is not one that I could feel like is more worse than the other. They were all pretty bad. Especially like, and I think just going back to this one too, since we're on it. From the trailers, it shows that what's his face? What's the name? It's not Bobby, the other brother.
Eric.
He is getting. You think he's gonna die in this scene because the chain is wrapped around his septum ring
at the tattoo parlor.
Yeah, and the fan is going, but then you find out that he's not dead. And then they're walking down the street, and he's like, "Oh, how is death gonna take me out?" And Stephanie is like, "Oh, this can fall into this, and this can fall into that, and that can happen to that." And then the trash can comes, or the garbage truck comes, and then she's like, this garbage truck, get away from it. And he starts like being raunchy with the garbage truck. And in turn, it wasn't his turn to die. That's exactly how his sister got taken out. So I thought that little twist was cool.
Yeah.
She's like, stay away from these kids. He's like, I think I'll take my chances.
you know, and it's like death. You don't want to laugh at it, but it was like I thought it was like kind of funny
that they put something comedic.
That she was, there was like, you know, maybe not trying to be like funny, but funny because she's like, just watch out, just don't go near that leaf blower. You know, like I don't know. I thought it was comical. It was more as a moment of levity a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah.
I think the worst way to go out would be the MRI, man. Just getting pulled into that thing. Well, first of all, he had all those piercings.
It's in some inappropriate regions.
Yes, and that would be that'd be pretty brutal, man. So.
Yeah. And then he finds out that Howard, who dies, is not even his real dad. And then he's like, "Well, who's my dad?" And then the mom tells him, and then they say the name of who the dad's supposed to be, and then I'm assuming he's like some probably like some sports person, because then he goes, "Is that why I wanted to play catch all the time?"
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, and then he storms away. So funny things like that. That was good.
Yeah. All right. Number 1, I think. We talked about our brutal deaths.
Okay.
We talked about
I know your number 1
Bloodlines
already.
a lot. I know yours, I think.
When what's mine?
I think it's the 3rd one.
Yours is the 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final
Okay.
Destination 2.
Final Destination 3.
As your top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, worst way to go out in that one for me is gonna be a tanning booth.
The tanning booth is terrible. Yeah.
I would have to say mine's a tanning bed. Even the deaths in this one were all pretty bad.
Pretty awful.
The motor through the back of the head.
Yeah.
That's bad.
The dude getting smashed by the weights in the weight room.
Dude getting smashed by the weights. Oh boy, getting smashed by the cherry picker or forklift or whatever.
It was like a cherry picker or like a sign or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like I think it was like those giant cranes that have like the lights on them or something like that. It was something like that. Yeah.
And then them all dying in the train area.
Oh yeah, pretty brutal deaths in the last one too. Like the sister gets like just disintegrated by something. One dude gets like smashed against the wall.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, pretty bad.
Pretty brutal, man. All right, I put Final Destination 2. This is my favorite one. This one's awesome. So I was pretty young when I watched it. Most brutal way to go out, and this one is probably the elevator, because it like stops against your neck
as you
and
feel it breaking,
and as you like feel it ripping, and there's nothing you can do about it, and it's just brutal. But I will say, when I first saw, like, I'm like a kid, at heart. So when I saw the dude get ripped in half by the barbed wire, I was like, "Oh, dude, it's crazy!" Like, it was nuts, bro, because it happened so quick.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, like, I don't know. You just gotta think about. I'm just thinking about the most brutal way to go. Dude getting the lady with the airbag super quick. The guy with the thing through the eye, that ladder, super quick. Stuff like that. But still very brutal. Pretty brutal.
In that one, it's like every time they were about something was about to happen, it's like they almost got away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
No, yeah, Ray was actually telling me, she was like, man, like the lady in the elevator, if nobody called her, she wouldn't drop the phone. She wouldn't get her hair caught.
Yeah.
If Claire wasn't looking for Eugene, she doesn't open the door, he comes back, things like that. So, yeah, it's definitely, I like the kind of lore, the kind of ways that, it's very heavy in like a fate argument. Like, things are fated to happen, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, and the friends, they just get completely taken out. And
oh gosh, just the 3 friends in the SUV in the truck. Yeah, it was pretty brutal, man.
Wait, what was the first death in that one?
In the second one?
Yeah.
The kid on the ladder.
Kid on the ladder. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because he was in his kitchen just cooking. He made it out of the house, and he
probably thinks he's good.
Still got impaled.
Yeah.
So. The
last one I did want to ask was, we can do it either one at a time, or I was gonna say, what is the objective? What is like the most scariest opening disaster sequence? One that we would be like not want to be caught in.
Mine would probably have to be.
You want to do it on 3?
Hold on, let me think.
Okay.
There's the plane. There's the not freeway. There's the bridge.
The freeway.
Okay, there's a freeway. There's the bridge.
There's the roller coaster. The racetrack. And like the skyscraper.
And the skyscraper. Ooh, I don't know, because I'm scared of heights.
True.
That's why. The bridge is high. The roller coaster is high. The Space Needle thing is high.
There's not like a good answer to this
high.
question. Yeah.
The only thing that's on the ground, I guess, is the freeway and the racetrack.
Yeah.
Well, the bridge is on the ground, but it's up high. None of them. I don't want to be a part of any of them. But if I have to pick one.
If you had to just pick one as like the most scariest one.
The most scariest.
If you were caught in it. Just a terrible thing to see happen that you're just caught in,
None of them.
No?
I guess. I don't know.
Mine is the bridge collapse. I just think that would be terrifying.
I'm saying the worst one?
Yeah.
Okay, the worst one I would not want to be a part of is probably... This is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say the racetrack.
Some pretty terrible ways to go out in that one.
It's because you're in this confined space and you're all trying to get out through one way.
Sure.
And so,
that's pretty scary, actually. Yeah.
So it's you're panicking. You if you're on a boat, if you're on a freeway, you're panicking. But also if you're on the freeway, if you're on that bridge, sorry, not the freeway, I'm getting confused. If you're on the bridge and you fall, hopefully you can fall into water.
And hopefully something doesn't land on your head.
Because that girl did fall and she got impaled by the sailboat.
The one girl fell and then got smashed by a car, and then another girl fell and then fell into a sailboat.
Yeah. So hopefully you can fall into a good patch of water.
And then immediately start swimming.
Plane.
Nowhere to go.
Plane, I feel if you were smart and you could make your way to where they keep the vest or the parachutes or something or whatever out.
I don't know if there is parachutes.
I thought there was something on the plane. There's something.
I don't know if there's parachutes.
We're gonna look it up. Not a parachute, life vest, something.
There's flotation devices and stuff.
There's something. I will figure something the fuck out. A sheet, and I will just fuck my luggage. Okay. But yeah, I feel the race car track, because you I think even in one part of that movie, someone got trampled. And it's just concrete falling and getting smashed, and yeah, I'd probably panic with that one, because that's realistic. Most of these are realistic events.
Well, definitely the people just getting caught in the exit,
because
the crowd and people trampling, that is all super realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree with that, definitely.
Terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying. There's some legit stakes, when they go to the little candle vigil. There's a lot of pictures of kids and stuff on that.
Yeah.
On the little remembering board and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely brutal, man. So
that's the one thing Austin did give credit to of Bloodlines is the little kid in the beginning that threw the penny ends up getting smashed by a piano.
By a falling piano, and I was they're not afraid to kill kids. So.
CPS, please don't come after us. We love our children.
Okay. All right, that's going to do it, man, for our rankings. We talked about a lot of gruesome, brutal ways to go out. So we talked about our rankings. We talked about Bloodlines. Recommend it. Go check it out. Do we have a question of the day?
I guess the question of the day would be, which scenario would you rather be in as a part of or would not want to be in? What would you... I had a malfunction. Which scenario would you rather be in, and which scenario would you rather you not be in for the Final Destinations? If you had to pick one.
Yeah, if you had to pick one. What's the worst way to go out?
What door would you go through?
Sure.
Door number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Also, let us know what we should watch next. If it's in theaters, if it's on streaming, if it's a show. Let us know what to watch. We will get after it. We will review it, and we will post it. So, all right, that's going to do it for all of us here at the Nerd Lounge 2.0, which is myself, Austin, and my wife, Ray. Thank you for nerding out with us. And as always, stay nerdy.
Can you just
gotta do the pen. You gotta do the pen toss.
I don't want to do the pen toss.
You gotta do the
now, if that pen bounced off the thing, bounced up, and then went in your eye, and then you're gone. And then everything is a scenario now, guys. Everything.